Hi everyone, welcome to the channel dedicated to sharing the profound insights and wisdom of Andromedan Contactee Alex Collier. If you're new here, you're in for a journey that expands your mind and consciousness, bringing you closer to understanding the messages from the fifth density Andromedan extraterrestrials. For those returning, we're grateful for your continued support. Before we dive into today's enlightening content, we have a small favor to ask. If you find value in the knowledge shared in this video, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing to our channel, and clicking the bell icon so you never miss an update. Your engagement helps us amplify Alex Collier's message, allowing us to reach a larger audience with these vital messages. We'd also love to hear from you, so please engage with the comments below. Whether it's a question, your thoughts, or even just an emoji for the sake of engagement, every comment counts. We read every single comment, and your feedback is incredibly valuable to us, as it all contributes to our mission of expanding this community. So please don't hesitate to leave your thoughts below. Additionally, if you'd like to support us further, consider giving a super thanks tip by clicking the heart with the $sign. This small gesture allows us to continue bringing you more of Alex's messages, unfiltered and directly from his lifelong experiences with the Andromedans. Today's video includes a compilation of several of the many important questions Alex Collier has received over the past few years, so please sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video.
Are Trump and the military white hats aware of the second coming or fake alien invasion? And if so, do you think that they'll be able to stay a couple of steps ahead of it, or will they have to ride it out just like everyone else?
I have no firsthand knowledge of what the president knows or doesn't know. And I have no firsthand knowledge of what the Q team knows or doesn't know. So what I'm about to give is my own opinion, but based on what I have observed, based on what I do know about the interaction between boots on the ground and their sky brothers and sisters not on the ground, I think they have a clue. I do. I think contingency plans are all in place for whatever these idiots throw at us. The jackals, whatever the jackals throw at us, I think they're more than prepared for it. I think they even have a very good approximation as to how humanity will react to such a thing. Back in 2007, somewhere between 2006 2007, I had a conversation regarding technology, regarding Blue Beam with Mornay. And he said it was very advanced, but the software wasn't right. However, in the hands of the regressive aliens themselves, it would of course be much more potent. I think they may try it. I don't know. They may try it. I just can't see how they're going to pull it off. Because the rest of the galaxy's sitting up here watching this shit go on. And they know it. And they know it. They know that it's like going onto a stage and everybody's out there. You know, your mom, your dad, your cousins, your aunts and uncles, your detractors, your supporters, everybody's up there watching this. And let's say they put this huge holograph of a ship or a being coming out of a cloud, coming down to Earth. What would happen if you flew a TR-3B through the holograph, or you flew a mothership through the holograph? And so there's all kinds of ways to thwart something like this. My hope is that, again, I pray that humanity's consciousness rises above this and people make the decision to empower themselves and still love God, as opposed to staying a victim and waiting to be rescued. That's what I think. That's a tough one. I know whatever didn't work, a lot of things have changed so that this time we're supposed to make it. My understanding is, and this has been confirmed by some friends of mine in Australia, is that there is no probable scenario where humanity does not come out on top. Every scenario that's been observed, probable outcome, humanity excels and comes out on top. That we get through this hump, that we get through this crisis, this crisis of our civilization. And we not only get through it, but we evolve and we mature profoundly from this experience. And that maturity that we learn from this experience will be passed down to all future generations. So those future generations will be in a position to exercise the law of consistency to all the future generations before them. And what I mean by that is all the knowledge that we have and all the emotional experience that we glean and have from this experience and the maturity and wisdom that we've gotten from this experience, we are able to pass down to the 2 generations, 3 generations behind us. And they in turn consistently do the same, so that every generation is wiser than we are today. Coming forward is wiser than we are today. That's the law of consistency. And all benevolent civilizations exercise that. That assures their continuity. They don't dumb anybody down. They don't turn you into idiots and expect the civilization to survive. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. Just like, this rat pack here, they've dumbed our humanity down so much that without this intervention, we would not have survived. How can you dumb down a civilization and expect it to survive? Hence Agenda 21, hence Agenda 2030. Hence the United Nations doesn't care. They've already decided who's going to survive and move on, and the rest of us would not. So, it's all there. It's all playing itself out. It's all coming to the surface. The wind is blowing the sand away, and what's there is what is. It's all just been hidden beneath the sand. But you cannot turn the people against each other, turn nature against humanity, and expect it to survive. Okay? That wasn't their intention. So now humanity has to realize that. I don't know how that's done, but if humanity could realize that and really see it for what it is, I think that they would make that contrast decision very quickly. You choose freedom, because freedom gives you the chance to evolve, gives you every opportunity for success, and to remain free, and to evolve and become more than what you possibly could imagine right now. Not to mention the fact that you assure future civilizations, future generations, those same successes and guarantees and rights. Okay? Individual liberties. This here, socialism, fascism, enslavement, mind control, medical experimentation, being treated as chattel, looked at as cattle. There's no future there. There's no future there at all. Why would anyone settle for that? Why would anybody even go there and say, well, at least I'll be free? No, you won't. No, you won't. You'll be alive. No, you won't. You'll be tortured. So, these are all things that are going to be coming to the surface. And I don't know how it's all going to come out. But it is. It's coming. It's coming. Those of us who made our first tinfoil hats years and years ago, and have now taken it off and either passed it on or put it up in the closet, we see this for what it is. We're just waiting for everybody else to catch up now.
This is a good one, close to my heart. Dear Alex, Dr. Osmanagich discovered the Valley of Pyramids and the underlying tunnels in Visoko, Bosnia, built more than 20,000 years ago. Another civilization filled the tunnels with sand and earth thousands of years later. The tunnels are being gradually unearthed in the recent years by Dr. Osmanagich's team, despite the obstructions of the local and international authorities. Could you say something about these pyramids and tunnels and about the two civilizations? And I just want to add that I heard that when I spoke to him, no mainstream archaeologist is allowed to speak to Dr. Osmanagich, or at least if they do, they get defunded and stuff like that.
The Bosnian Pyramid is amazing. And what's really interesting is that it's emitting a frequency. And some of the tunnels also emit the frequency. I don't know. I haven't looked into it in probably the last 8, 9, 10 months. Been kind of busy with other stuff. But it was a city. It is not just a pyramid. There are other structures there as well. But it was once a city. And I want you to look at this idea. When Atlantis was in its heyday, it had colonial cities. The most famous of the cities are known as the 7 cities of Cibola, the cities of gold. And it's only because they had a gold hue to them, because they had a frequency around them, and some of them had energetic domes, which can control climate on the inside and the amount of UV light, because many extraterrestrials that we're visiting as tourists, their stars are different than ours, and they would not be able to deal with the sunlight. But inside some of these dome structures, these etheric dome structures, uh, they could walk around and enjoy their holiday, for lack of a better word, without having to worry about the UV light. If you're Hyperborean, you could come out from underneath the surface and walk amongst the surface inside one of these domes. On the moon, these were physical structures, and Richard Hoagland's done a very good job of bringing that to everyone's consciousness in the 80s, 90s. Those domes, those physical domes, are on many moons and planets in our solar system as well. But Atlantis dealt a lot with energy, crystal energy, sound energy. That whole structure there was essentially built for one specific race. And they were from Hercules. Or this particular race got permission to build an area for themselves there, which is what we now call Bosnia. There will be more uncovered, even more important stuff than just the pyramid itself. My understanding is that there's technology. There are also records that were left behind by the actual builders of those structures. But when I approached it with them, he said that that was an area that was frequented by beings, human and what we would call non-terrestrial beings, from the constellation of Hercules. And that's all I know at the moment. Now, the fact that they don't want him to talk to anybody else, no. That's because they're trying to keep control of the narrative that they have fed everyone about human history, which of course is rubbish. You know, those of us who have done our own research, we know that it's just garbage. This is no different. So I'm not at all surprised. And it's even worse than that in some other areas of archaeology. But the fact that we're talking about it means that the cat's out of the bag. You know, people know. And it's all good. He will go down in history as a remarkable man for what he's done and what he's uncovered, and the history that it's going to help provide for all of humanity. So, you know, Earth has an amazing history, guys. I've been saying this for years. It just has an amazing history, and you know, it's been an honor and a privilege to be here. She deserves better, the planet. She deserves better. She really does. And, you know, once we figure that out, once we understand, she will not have any better steward than us. Once everybody wakes up. You know, we will treat her like a queen, and she is, for all intents and purposes. She's an amazing home. Okay. What else we got?
Thank you very much. I was very pleased to speak to him on my radio show when I did it several years ago.
Well done on that. Yeah, he deserves all the accolades.
Yeah. And actually, there's a restaurateur in town who I also interviewed later on, who went out and did some work for him and helped to dig out some of the tunnels. You know, so it's quite personal. Dear Alex, please give us more details about the other beings that are aiding humanity at this time. What are their roles, and what can we do to help them help us? Yeah, who you got any, like, are the Pleiadians doing one thing? The who else? Who else is it? Who else is part of this big to do just now?
I don't know all the races that are participating, and I do not know their MOS, their job descriptions. But yes, the Pleiadians are here. And I'm saying Pleiadians, I'm not referring to Plagiarians, I'm referring to Pleiadians. The Plagiarians have abused their power here. And I know I'll get shit for that, but I don't care. It's what it is. Fifth dimensional A's, fourth dimensional A's, Cirrus A, Procyon, group from Sagittarius. We have some benevolent Anunnaki, some benevolent Nibiru. There is a mixed bag of extraterrestrials from our own solar system that are not originally from our solar system, but are stationed at outposts on other planets and moons. Believe it or not, there are some benevolent groups from Orion also here assisting. And then, of course, we have a partial breakaway civilization from Earth that has had to come back and is now assisting and taking care of business the way they should have done 45 years ago. And then there's other groups with other expertise that are being brought in by those said benevolent extraterrestrial groups. I shared with you years and years ago that Earth was not the only civilization having this, going through this process or going through this adventure. There were 21 other star systems. Well, those other 21 star systems, from what I've been told, have been freed. They are now standing on their own, and they have begun the process of rebuilding their civilizations and empowering their civilizations and becoming free and leaders. A self-reliant civilization that is practicing mutual respect with all the other civilizations that live around it. After having had the experience, the contrast of enslavement, they're now free. They are here, I understand, maybe not all of them, but some of them are here assisting in any way that they're asked to pay what they've learned forward. They now have the experience of being where we are, and they want to pay it forward to assist us, even behind the scenes. They're not looking for glory or fame. They just want to help because they realize what we're going through. And it's interesting because most of the population on this planet, they don't have any idea yet really what they've been going through. It's only beginning to roll out through limited disclosure what we've been going through. You know, and those of us who have been on the front lines hacking at the weeds, you know, hacking through the wilderness, trying to bring folks up to speed. And there's many of us who have been talking about these type of things for years now. At some point in the future, maybe 100 years from future, this will all be an established fact. It just now there's still a significant part of the population that's not awake to it. But they will. They'll come around. They'll get it. Because the plan is rolling it out, whether they want to or not. So what's interesting too about this experience is that a lot of civilizations are not only learning some history of our galaxy, which they did not know, and the interaction of different races in our galaxy, but it's being zeroed down to a very micro, macro level as to how these civilizations have controlled and manipulated other species, other civilizations. We here on Earth are a real interesting mixed bag of genetics. And we have this enormous extreme of emotions, which can take compassion to a level unimagined, and at the same time can take us to a place of such horror and depravity as no one even wants to imagine. So we're interesting. We're interesting. And the last thing we want to do is to become our enslavers. We don't want to become that which has been manipulating and controlling us for this long. We don't ever want to become that. The other groups that are here assisting, this is an education for them as well, because they're going to take this history, this knowledge, this interaction with our race through dimensional realms, through physical contact, and they're taking this knowledge back to their civilization. And our story is being shared with other civilizations, not only in our galaxy, but also in other galaxies. And this is a very teachable moment to everyone. So there's multiple levels to this experience that we're all sharing together. Those of us who have been here and those who are now interacting and assisting on a level, they're now part of this experience with us. And it's changing their perspective and who they are as well. And folks, we've got to do ourselves proud here. We just got to do ourselves proud. Because a lot of time and energy, time travel, is being invested in us to help us. And we, in turn, those of us who are awake, have to give back. We have to acknowledge that we're getting the assistance from other extraterrestrial races, living civilizations, from spirit, from multiple dimensions, from Creator, the Holy Spirit, Great Spirit, whatever adjective you choose to call that is what is. This is a big deal. This is a really big deal. And we should never take it for granted. because this changes everything. This changes everything. Who you are on your multidimensional selves, when you empower this part of you here that's here and now, when you are able to take this perspective of you and change it and empower it and enlighten it and infuse all the light there is into you here and now, this alters all of you all the way up. And changing that you that empowers, that changing of you here that empowers all of you in all the other dimensions that you coexist in, changes everyone around you there as well. Okay, it's a symbiotic relationship. Humans don't think this way, unfortunately. They don't realize that when you change everything around you. So you want it to be wonderful, you want it to be love and light, you want it to be grace and harmony, or you want it to be a shitstorm. It's entirely up to you, to me, to us. Okay? That's why it's so important to be in the moment. To not be making decisions without being cognizant of the fact that you're making decisions. And in the moment, are you really making the decisions based on how you truly feel? Now, it's important to understand that when we make those decisions in the moment about how we feel, it can't solely be made on just the past, our experiences of the past. We have got to think about, okay, this decision, how does it affect the future of me? Going forward, what does it do to help me? Does it empower me? Does it empower the people around me? We have to incorporate that in our decision-making process in order for our decisions to be as balanced as possible. Okay? Okay. I still got to drop that from my vocabulary.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you found it insightful, please like the video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so you don't miss out on future updates. If you have any questions relating to today's video, please also leave them below. We read all the comments and take on board what our viewers have to say about Alex Collier's work. Remember, your support helps Alex Collier's knowledge and the messages from the Andromedans reach more people. If you'd like to support the channel even more, you can give us a super thanks tip by clicking the heart icon with a $sign. It really helps our team bring you more content. Also, be sure to visit alexcollier.org to sign up for our regular email newsletter. It's the best way to stay updated with the latest news, exclusive content, and upcoming live webinars. For the latest insights from Alex Collier, check out alexcollier.live. And if you want to explore over 250 past webinars, head over to alexcollier.tv. Thank you for being a part of this journey and supporting Alex Collier's work. We couldn't do this without you, and we're genuinely grateful for your support. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the vast mysteries of our universe. If you would like to see the Andromedan Contactee Alex Collier live via video stream, we hold a live online seminar every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. For more information on upcoming live webinars, please visit alexcollier.org.